looks good today, bro.
I just got my shit turned on. No, mine is just on whatever setting I have it on broadcast, where it's like 60 frames, 720p, 60 frames.
Oh,
I have it set to that.
Excuse me.
720p ain't shit, though. Come on.
Got a good looking camera and you didn't go 1080 yet. Imagine when you go Super Saiyan, bro.
Well, 1080 will be 30 on this camera.
Look at Token over there. I see you over there, Token. Like, we all looking good today, guys. I see you. Look, we got our good friend.
We out here flexing, doing a little light work.
I'm feeling good about this. Y'all ready for some good conversation?
Let's do it.
Heck yeah.
All right. I think we about to dig into some decent action. So with that, what I want to do is I want to introduce myself. Good evening, everyone. Welcome to Start Button Live, where we talk about all of your gaming news, where we bring you some great gaming conversation and we give you different perspectives. I am your host, Mr. King Anarchy. Of course, with us today, we have our special guest once more, Goji Senpai, aka, Big Goji Sen, aka Spider-Man Wimble. You know what I'm saying? We have our
Spider-Man. What?
Don't worry about it. So anyway, we have Time Traveling, who is, our resident celebrity. We got, our resident funny guy, Mr. Token, aka SG Token, aka KG Master Roshi. I don't know why he calls himself the Turtle Hermit, but whatever. It's neither here nor there. We got our other guest, Mr. Mega Man himself, aka Mr. Raijin. And of course, we can't go anywhere without Mad Mike, aka Hustle Simmons. So
Raijin is also the best cat dad ever. It says so on the shirt.
Right. I'm sure Leona will make an appearance at some point in this episode.
Who's the best cat dad? Oh, Raijin is the best cat dad ever.
I mean, let's be real. Leona is pretty much our mascot at this point. She pops in on screen every time.
Let me be clear. I'm gonna clear something out right now. I see Mr. Goji has the Discord shirt. Hustle Sephiroth though.
Yeah.
We just talked about this last week, bro. Sephiroth did not wrong. I mean, Sephiroth is a great villain. I just still don't think that he's a better villain than Kefka when it comes to being evil for evil's sake.
Well, he's not evil for evil's sake. He's evil for a purpose.
Right.
That's your type of villain, though.
Wait, what?
Yeah. Well, no, I'm saying that's Toad's villain. He needs that evil, and I kind of inclined to agree. I prefer when this is like there's no explanation. They just say evil dickhead. I don't need. Right. I don't always need some crazy, super intricate.
You don't.
No. I agree
some
too.
Intensive backstory. Or,
yeah, like
right.
Like sometimes motherfucker just gotta be evil. That's cool.
Right.
Like
I agree.
Right. Like if you look at like One Piece, for example, right?
This morning.
If you look at One Piece, for example, right? All of these villains, I was this, I was that, blah, 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 blah. There was one villain in One Piece that was evil just to be evil. Doflamingo.
Yep.
Mm.
That man.
Yeah.
That man killed his parents.
One of my favorite characters in the entire series.
I remember I saw a TikTok that was like 3 pages long that just listed off all his crimes because you couldn't fit them all on one panel.
Jesus.
And I texted my brother. I was like, "Oh, I forgot he's like, I forgot he was a criminal. God damn."
Throw that man under the jail, and then throw a jail on top of that one, and then throw another jail on top of that jail.
That's kind of what they did. That is kind of what they did. Like that man was evil just to be evil, just to be evil. The man killed his parents. The man killed his brother. The man took over a country, not even by accident. Like he just took over a country. He walked in, threw the king in jail, and said, "This is mine now."
I mean, that's pretty. I mean, it's like
walking up in your house.
That's like Cletus Cassidy / Carnage. Dude's just literally just evil, just an evil psychopathic serial killer who then got more power from a symbiote. It just goes around killing things because he wants to. That's it. That's nothing. Nothing more.
And there's no method. There's no method behind that madness.
Yeah, there's no reason why Carnage does what he does. It's just I like killing people. All right, I'm just go kill more people now to have a symbiote. That's That's that.
Basically.
I like how our opening discussion is literally just villains now.
I mean, let's be clear. Villains are an integral part of a story, no matter what it is, from video games to anime to movies. And sometimes sympathizing with a villain is exactly what we as the audience need to do. But there are definitely times where when the let's see, the IP makes you want to sympathize, and they shouldn't.
Yeah, I hate how they made. I hate how in the Cruella movie they try to make you sympathize with Cruella. It's like, this is a lady that skins puppies.
Dumbest reason.
Wait, she skins puppies. What? You can't make that a sympathetic villain. Opposite, I'll give you that.
That's what kind of has me worried about Craven.
Oh yeah, that actually does make me worried about Craven.
That movie looks like
Craven's not even to be honest, Craven's not really a villain unless it's towards Spider-Man.
Well, here's the thing: Craven is neither good nor evil, really.
Yeah.
Craven is literally just a hunter, and his whole purpose is to hunt. His family hunt. Like the way they did Craven's story in Spider-Man 2, without spoiling anything, was spot on what any movie or any rendition of Craven should be. It was literally the perfect Craven.
Which is why it was smart for Sony to push back the movie and let that version come out first. Because boy, if they put out that movie version before the game came out, it would have ruined Craven. I strongly believe that.
Now people would have like played the game. Well, people would watch the movie and play the game. They're like, "Why the fuck didn't they do this for the movie?" That's the exact reaction.
That is true. That is true.
Before we actually get to talking about Spider-Man, because we're going to talk about Spider-Man 2 today. That's actually one of our topics. So before we actually get into Spider-Man 2, let me ask my question of the day. I don't know where I come up with these questions, but I have a question. What gaming practice annoys you the most? What thing do gamers or do games in general, like, give me some of your pet peeves about just being a gamer. Time, you look like you had something cooking.
That was a good one too. Honestly, that was a good question.
I think the thing that annoys me the most, and I probably even feed into this a little bit when it comes to things like wrestling, I think it's this annoying feeling of entitlement of people deserve to know about things.
Okay.
So like, I am not a huge fan of Jason Schreier. I think he's a very good writer, but I don't like his ethics. I don't like the things he believes in. So like, for me, one of the things that drove me nuts was he was doing a story, I think, on a Mafia game at one point. And he was at the 2K campus, and while he was there, just kind of random happenstance, he came across information of a certain game being worked on, and decided to take it upon him to leak that information out that he heard about this while he was there. Not even like write an article about, like just flippantly just threw it out there so people knew what was going on. And there's a lot of people out there who think that they're entitled to know this kind of stuff. I appreciate the passionate people who are out there who want to know stuff. That's completely fine. Like the people who are out there like trying to find all the little bits of information. I'm talking about the people out there who actively get mad and frustrated that there isn't more confirmation about news, that there isn't always more clear communication of like people are even working on something, because they want the idea of like a franchise being developed on to be a surprise, because that's a big moment for a lot of people. A lot of these projects, you'd be surprised at how many projects get started, they get pretty far along where it's like to a point where like this actually feels like it's a pretty fun game, and then just gets canceled. Like they don't even want to announce that their things are being worked on because like for them, in a lot of cases, the first time it's announced is the first time it feels real. So like they don't want to go through that heartbreak of like announcing something, having it be real, and then something happen in development where it's canceled. And now people are mad at the developers, people are mad inside the studio at like leadership. Like it's the whole thing. It sucks. Like we want to share this stuff with people as much as they want to know about it. But there's reasons it doesn't always come out.
I think I agree. When it comes to things like, all right, so to me, a leaker is a spoiler. I do not like being spoiled on things that are coming out before their time is supposed to. You know what I'm saying? Like if a developer wants to reveal something, they're going to reveal it when it's time to be revealed. Sometimes those little surprise pop-up games are like the best things that could ever happen. You know what I mean? Like, boom, like, oh, snap, we get this today. Like, I didn't even know this was coming. I didn't even know this was even being worked on. And then there are times where you get leaks like Grand Theft Auto 6. And it's like, bro, y'all have been trying to leak this game for 4 years. And they have been doing their best to make sure to keep a wrap on this game. Like, all right, we know that we know that they're in development. And we know that, you know, like, I don't want to leak until I know that I'm going to get some kind of a release date sometimes, because to me, that's when it becomes real. I don't want to leak. I want the developers to give us something something tangible, because, and we'll get into something like that a little later. You know, like there are games where obviously they want you to get excited. I get excited when I watch game trailers. That's what I used to love watching E3 for. You know what I'm saying? It's not about, you know, we're getting, but I like the game trailer. I like planning out how I'm going to buy my games, what I'm going to be spending my time on, where my money is going to go, how much I should save. To me, that is important. And so, you know, you can hold on to the title. You know, you don't have to get me excited about it if you don't know that, hey, we plan to release this in a year or 2 or 3. You know what I mean? Like, sometimes that's how I feel about that, but that's not what gaming practice annoys me the most. I'm going to let Hustle go to this one, though.
Then as our practice that we hate specifically?
Gamers
habit
themselves.
that you don't like.
Habit? Oh, a habit that gamers have?
Things gamers do, or game developers, anything within the gaming. What gaming practice annoys you the most? And I think that you have a big one.
And by the way, if we can, I want to come back for a second one, just so I can be fair and nitpick developers.
Okay, one of the things I hate is this. I saw a video earlier today about someone saying that Generation 9 was terrible for games. I'm just like, every generation we have these people who say that this generation was horrible for games. There's no good games. Modern gaming is dead. Modern gaming is... It's like, have you played any games this year? Last year? The year before that? This entire generation? Have you played any of them? Or are you just talking out your ass? Because every generation, there's always a couple select motherfuckers who I'm sorry, since we started off hot. It's on my nerve. No, it's on my nerves now. Like, y'all can't find a game you don't like. Out of every generation, there's no games that you like. There's no games you enjoy. I know y'all lying. Either you don't play games, or you're just flat out, straight out lying. If you're lying, you're even worse. Because I don't like people being dishonest when it comes to their takes on games. Like, come on, dude. Last year was one of the best years we've had in gaming history. Period. The amount of releases, I haven't even played all the games that came out last year because there were so many good ones that came out.
Yeah,
we're in 2025 gonna be even better.
We're in a golden age of gaming.
Whoa. Don't jump ahead now. 2025 is going to be better than 2023. Wow, that's a hot take.
It may not be.
I mean, we got Power World.
May
we
not
did
be.
get Power
Yeah.
World.
Fuck out of here.
I need to
Power
start
World.
I need to start Power World. I need to start Power World for real.
As I look over here, as I hatch these eggs,
all come out in 2025. That shit alone is like
Baldur's Gate.
I mean, we got GTA, we got Monster Hunter Wilds, both already listed as 2025.
Death Stranding too.
Stranding supposed to be 2025.
Loon said Xbox is going to be doing a fusion dance in 2025. So, that sounds hilarious.
Later, we'll get to that. We'll get to that at some point.
Yeah.
But yeah, man. Like, I'm sick of hearing gamers say that this generation is terrible for games. Like, what do we?
So we got basically entitlement. We got being stuck up, I'm guessing, or being picky.
I would say intellectual dishonesty at this point. That's
I'm going with that one.
Like just straight up honesty.
What I got?
Yeah. You've been
Yeah.
to a fighting game tournament before, so I'm surprised that you haven't like said what I thought that Hustle was gonna say.
Oh, what trash talking?
Oh nah.
No. I don't know what you're going with. Nah,
we grew up with that in the lobbies, bro.
Nah, that's why I was like, I don't know what you're going with that fight.
I was gonna say the Smash community.
No, well, pet peeve, yeah, wash your ass. That's like my biggest peeve.
That's it.
There you go.
Oh
No.
yeah, you're not wrong. You're not wrong about that.
My actual peeve is people who go try way too hard to min-max every single goddamn game they play, whether it be Call of Duty, a fighting game, League of Legends, World of Warcraft. Like when they're sitting there, it's like, oh yeah, I got done raiding. Now I'm watching like 2 hours on other raids, get tips and stuff like that, or guides and stuff like that. I'm like, yo, like, are you having fun? Like, granted, like I did that back like League when I was hardcore playing like rank, but that's when I was like toxically addicted to League, playing like 10 hours a day of rank and shit like that.
Jesus.
But like, it's like
you.
My name is Rajan, and I have a problem. But no, like, well, no, like it got its.
Why is he reading me for filth right now?
Do you min-max everything? Everything you play? Everything you play?
I'm not gonna say I min-max everything I play, but when I get into something, I will literally like absorb myself in it. Like when I was playing League, I was watching YouTube videos and like those pro skills tips and things because I wanted to improve. I wanted to get better. But right now, my entire YouTube timeline, if it's not us, if I'm not watching us, it's freaking One Piece card game, battles, cards, deck profiles, upcoming market state of the market, what's coming up, card reveals, things like literally that's my entire YouTube right now.
No, but I know what he's talking about.
You got a problem. No,
like the min-maxing stuff in certain games. It's like, bruh.
Like the people I'm talking about are the ones that go either way. Like I play a lot of A-Rams mainly now in League. I don't do ranked a lot, and I'll like try. Oh, let me try this random ass build I just thought of. And
hey! Just so you know, Earth is back today.
Yeah, I saw it. People in all caps chat, why are you building that? What's wrong with you? That's not optimal build. It's like, yo,
I hate that.
It's like, gotta bring it back.
Oh, you talking about the meta hogs.
Meta hogs.
Oh my god.
And this is the strongest thing in the meta.
Why are you using this gun in Warzone? Why are you using this gun in Warzone? Because that's what I picked up. Damn. Like, what do you want to do?
Overwatch PTSD.
Meta makes fighting games. Yo, meta makes like fucking.
Meta makes everything unfun.
Yeah, but especially when it comes to like E-League fighting games, it makes it so boring and unfun. None of you want to be creative. None of you want to pick something that's
no inspiration here. There's no
a fighting game is literally where you get to express yourself through the character that you choose and the style that they have. And then you got these people in the FGC.
Only like four different people, who
want to just meta the whole game. It's like y'all, this can't be a character you enjoy playing. It can't be. It's not. It's not a character.
My first month of playing League, I played. I started off playing ADC, and like that's when I realized I like marksman. But when I played support, I was like, oh, I like mages. But I don't like being around motherfuckers and telling me I can't get gold and shit. So I was like, I'm going top lane.
For real.
You know what team was Marvel's Camp round 3?
What?
Thor, Beautiful Joe, in Phoenix. And people look like, what the fuck is this team? And it's like, but I got mad good at that random ass team. And no one knew what to do against it.
Yeah, that's the beauty of it too. When you break the meta.
I had a
Some of our best.
Gun control.
Look, he over here. That's an ugly team.
Wait, what did you say, Tom?
I was saying some of our best league nights were when we said screw the meta, and we just randomly started to we started to throw stuff like AD carry and mid.
Well, the funny part,
or like when I want to be weird and be like, I'm gonna take Morgana top.
Oh yeah, be
that
like,
happens though.
It's like, yo, Roger, you want to do Draven jungle? Say I won't, man. I'll make a room build right now.
Bro, all of my
level
7, all of my level 7 mages, I got level 7 in top lane. Xerath, Vel'Koz, Brand, Karma.
It's just sad because these games allow you such creativity, and then people just like, well, that's not an easy win. It's like,
right?
That's not.
You're not in the box. You're not in the box that we're supposed to be in.
Well,
it's like for 2 months straight in Pokemon Unite, all you can see is Mewtwo X's and Y's.
Oh, whoa, calm down, Jamal.
So yeah. I'm pulling out that 9 as I sit there with my Buzzwole. I
played Buzzwole, but I was definitely a Mewtwo Y main.
Oh my god!
I was definitely a Mimikyu main.
So he's a scumbag meta player.
I was definitely a Glaceon main.
Charge.
I was definitely an Umbreon main. It's just that when I play them, they nerf them into the dirt so that they're unplayable, and then they come back and fix them. So I wouldn't mind if they like brought them down to earth, but like what they like to do is they like to put something here, put it in the dirt, and then be like, all right, we're gonna even it out.
Because what it is they release stuff in broken states to get people to play forever, to play during the time of it and buy it. Yep. Because either you're gonna play a bunch of hours to unlock it for free, or you're just gonna pay for it straight up. They get enough people to pay for it straight up, and then they nerf it to the ground.
Yeah.
So Goji, you play Pokemon Unite, bro? Did or do?
Did.
How many times
you saw me what?
How many times did you get the master? Oh, he about to go check. Let's give him a second.
While he's checking on that time, what were you saying?
Your second peeve to pick at the developers?
Get it.
Oh. I wish that they would start to go back to the days of holding off to announce stuff. I think developers announce stuff way too early a lot of times.
Amen.
I agree with that sentiment.
Yeah, I agree.
I get the why. I get the why they feel like they need to
get the hype train going.
Hype train helps shareholders and all that stuff.
Spans.
But I don't know. I just don't feel like it benefits anyone.
Do you think a lot of it is shareholder pressure?
I don't think it's shareholder pressure per se. Like,
Cyberpunk.
Well, all right, let me rephrase. If you mean pressure as in like, do I think shareholders are putting pressure on them? No. I think there's pressure, shareholder pressure, in as much as like, I think a lot of corporate America, it feels like in some cases, and maybe this is projection, but like, I feel like there's a lot of, sorry for the ums here. I feel like there's a lot of justification for their jobs. I feel like companies are always trying to justify their budget, and that can lead to having to announce things, you know?
True. Because
I'm not sure if that's the case. What was that?
I said, how do you raise capital to make the game? For instance, Baldur's Gate went to early access. Some games go to Kickstarter. Games cost money to be made, and then they cost more money to continue to run.
Yep. Yeah, that's exactly it. Gosh, I gotta stop saying that. It's a hard tick. Got to get rid of it. There's these. That's just the reality of it, though. There is a lot of problems around just how expensive games cost.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I've talked about this before, and I feel like Cliff Basinski, when he said this like over a decade ago now, I think that it is not sustainable to keep running entertainment out of one central location. I understand that not all game studios are in California. There's game studios across the globe, but it feels like a lot of these studios tend to operate in places that are more expensive in America, at least. For American game development, it is getting very difficult.
Yeah.
And what was that?
I said Boston, California.
Yeah, Boston, California, New York City, Washington,
Chicago,
yeah.
Just studios in Chicago?
Yeah, there's studios in Chicago. Midway's in Chicago. Like that's where Mortal Kombat was developed.
Originally,
What's like? Here's the thing. Like, why? Because it's also because So what you're saying about these locations, right? Which is why I want to eventually open my own studio to counteract that too, right? There's nothing that stops somebody from starting a studio in like rural America. You know what I'm saying?
That's not entirely true.
Nah, a lot of it depends on the internet infrastructure because you can't get good like you can't do shit. So that's why you got to move out.
That is true. Yeah, you do make a valid point about that.
If you're a game studio, you need to have good infrastructure. You need to be in a place where people want to live.
Yeah, you actually think we're all. Sorry. I was gonna say, you need to have the population of people to actually have people at your studio. You gotta actually have the infrastructure for, let's say, good electrical grid. If you out in rural, you like your power goes out and you don't know how to do that shit.
Yes, you're screwed.
You're waiting hours for somebody to come out there to fix that.
That's a valid point.
Yeah, communal, like a good communal area.
You gotta have solid internet. You gotta be able to get supplies to you too, like
transportation.
Yep.
And that's kind of why rent winds up being so high in these places. Like, I live in a spot right now where we just got hit with like unprecedented rain in California, and I have coworkers who didn't have rain for a day and a half. Meanwhile, I'm fine, and that was the same for me where I lived in Washington because I lived so close to the studio there. But like the further away you get from the cities, you're not so lucky. You can not have electric for days. So it's just kind of the cost of doing business, and it sucks. But additionally, I feel like games have gotten too big. Like every game feels like it needs to be a 40 or 50-hour experience, but not like every game. I don't mean that in the literal sense. There are plenty of small bite-sized games, but it feels like the big ones everyone talks about are the larger ones.
Yeah. I was actually going to talk about that one because
what's your pet peeve, Token?
I think my biggest pet peeve, honestly, and it's because I play a lot of like RPG games.
League.
Shut up. I think my biggest pet peeve would have to be with big games, getting lost in a game because either the story, you get lost with the fucking story content or lack thereof sometimes because like how some of your story missions are level locked. And then you end up having to do all these side quests and grinding to raise your level just to go back to the story and then follow through the story, and then after that and you finish that little segment right there, the next part of the story you're 3 levels too low, and I'm like, bro, what did this whole segment not give me enough experience to continue on? Like, do I have to keep
stop playing Valhalla?
Ladies and gentlemen, it sounds like this man has been hurt by a MiHoYo game.
Either that or a pre-Mirage Assassin's Creed game.
The bad part is the fact that while I'm saying this, I'm thinking of Genshin.
Well, I mean, to go with Hustle's point, every Assassin's Creed game going back to when they implemented that Origins, when they added that, when they balanced leveling up the game around buying that $10 double experience back. That's what. So you level up slow as garbage. And,
you mean when they open the world to be a completely like open world experience?
Yeah. Yeah, they
put
getting double experience. Well, I can't even say double experience. They put getting proper experience points behind a $10
paywall. See, I don't like open world as much as I thought that I would, because sometimes I literally don't care about the side missions. I was an MMO player, and so grinding and all of that stuff really didn't bother me. But now I've come to see that I don't care about the side missions, and sometimes I actually care too much about the side missions because my brain tells me to be a completionist. And then I realized that I got lost in the side missions for 6 hours, and I'm bored because
now you try to go back to the story, and it's not entertaining enough. Yeah, you're lost, and it's not entertaining enough to kickstart your memory of like, oh, this is what I was really supposed to be doing.
I got a counteraction to that,
but I don't even care anymore.
A counterpoint to that, though.
Go for it.
Yeah, go ahead.
You hate bad side missions. That's the thing. Because there's
name a game with good side missions.
Cyberpunk 2077. What?
Spider-Man 2.
Yeah, it was like Spider-Man 2, Cyberpunk, Witcher 3.
Yeah, like those have great.
I've pretty much 100%. I was almost. I'm pretty much 100% inside Spider-Man 2. Like
you ready for this one?
Yeah. Go ahead and cook.
Hey, Token.
Yeah.
I'm glad we agree. Games are getting too unnecessarily big.
Yeah.
But
wrong with this?
Well, no,
I feel that.
Agree.
Yeah,
games are getting too unnecessarily big.
Yeah,
sometimes we don't need the filler, bro. We don't want it in our anime. We might not want it in our video games.
Like, a lot of games got too much padding now for no reason.
Yeah, there's a lot of unnecessary padding.
Are you telling me that too much anime has too much fluff?
It does. Like it does.
That's why they started going into cores now. That's why they started doing 12 episodes or 24 episodes in a show.
I love Bleach, but I ain't gonna hold you.
We finna get My Hero.
Wait, did you say Bleach?
Yeah.
Yeah,
the
Bleach did have
series is buns. But anyway, I know if we divert off to anime, we might not ever get back here. So Goji, did you tell us what your pet peeve was? And your how many times you reached master rank?
Oh, yeah, master.
Oh, master rank 3 times.
All right, so we're equal. We've done the same. Why haven't we played?
So I don't know. My pet peeve, they kind of go hand in hand as far as developers and gamers. I'm sick of developers putting out like games that are egregiously money grabbers, like where it comes to games like 2K, where it's like, we're going to sell you this game, then we're going to sell you the Ultimate Edition for $100, right? Then you got to buy $300 worth of VC just for your player to be somewhat relevant on the court, on the, what is it, the black, when you playing against other people.
Make sure you hoop.
Yeah, exactly. And then on the flip side, I'm tired of gamers complaining about it, but continuing to spend the money for these things. You'll say, oh, 2K was trash last year, I'm not going to get it. Then the first trailer drop and it's, let me pre-order the Jordan Kobe edition. And it's just like, bro, like they're going to keep doing it because you're going to keep paying for it.
Yeah.
And as long as gamers keep paying for this stuff, developers are going to look at it like, well, it's making us money. Why would we change it? Just because a couple people are complaining about it? Well, we done sold like 80 pre-orders of the super limited edition for $200 that come with a 19 inches of Venom. What was it?
Yeah.
I mean, you know,
all right. Truth moment. I wanted to get the Jordan edition 2K. I wanted to get the Kobe edition. I don't even play 2K. I used to collect statues, so I used to go and pre-order the big versions or whatever. Now they're digital, so I don't really do too many deluxe editions. I have to really, really enjoy the IP for me to even and like the things that are being offered. Like for instance, Armored Core came with a statue. It came with a whole bunch of stuff, but it was like $250. I'm not getting that. I'm just not doing it. So
it would have been worth it if I had the money for it.
That's how many people bought it though. Enough people for them to be like,
I would have bought it.
But like Cyberpunk had, super special editions. There's a lot of companies out there that did like Baldur's Gate super special edition. Like,
but they all have physical items too.
Sometimes, that's what I'm saying. Sometimes I'll go and do the extra.
I don't have it in arm's reach, but I spent the $150 for the Cyberpunk special edition with the hard steel case. It came with all the artwork. It came with the music all on the CD. I mean, it came with a bunch of stuff. I spent the extra money for Cyberpunk.
Honestly, if a collector's edition has an art book, I'll get it if I had the money for it. Like if they say it comes with an art book, I'll definitely get it.
Art books,
just that alone. Hell yeah, bro.
Oh no, I'm just saying because I got way too many fucking art books.
Concept art. Sign me up.
Bro, I didn't show you what happened. No, I did show you what happened to my Evangelion one, bro. That had me depressed.
What happened?
It got ruined when fucking water came through my apartment's roof.
Yeah, he had an apartment flood, so sadly his collectibles got messed up. Speaking of collectibles, I just ordered a today. I don't know do any of you guys collect pops?
Yeah, I just got a couple new.
So today the pre-order went up for a Gear 5 Luffy with a light up chase. For like $12.
Sold out, right?
No, it's a pre-order. I mean, I got 2 of them. So
bro said he got
I just went and bought the Zoro Nothing Happened Funko Pop the other day.
I'll send you guys the link after we finish this today, but in case you guys actually want to like go and get a copy, but like it's supposed to be releasing or it's supposed to be coming in April. So yeah,
I know you'll appreciate this one.
Yeah, I saw that one.
Nice.
So speaking of pet peeves and things that
you take about the box.
Speaking of things that gamers and developers
so you take about the box.
Speaking of things that gamers and developers do,
I'm not taking mine out the box though.
We are not on standby. I see on air. We are on air. We are live, sir. I still see live. So, yes. Speaking of things that I apologize. Speaking of things that gamers and developers do that could be pet peeves for us. Recently, some fans have gone to the developers of Spider-Man 2 and they have started to send violent threats due to the lack of updates and new content. They're demanding updates to Spider-Man 2. There were reports that there was supposed to be some DLC content in the works, maybe a new game plus, things of that nature. So because we haven't gotten them yet, because we haven't gotten word of them yet, people are now starting to send violent threats over. I'm not going to say death threats, but definitely violent threats. In response to the threats, even like the developers and members of Insomniac have actually taken to Twitter and started responding to the online harassment, asking everybody to be patient, literally quoted saying, "We know what you guys want. We're working extremely hard to make sure that we deliver." So I kind of wanted to go into that because we've already talked about how people can get a little overzealous when it comes to Right. So again, New Game Plus is coming. New Game Plus is going to be a thing. And like I said, they're working on making sure that they provide us with that content. I want to know how you guys feel about the way gamers make these moves and handle these things versus how developers should handle this. Hustle, you got this. You got this. I got you, Hustle.
Oh, okay.
The game's finished, y'all. The game's complete. You have a fully finished, fully completed game. What more do you want? Anything that you completed and finished product that was put out that you got to play the entire way through.
Yeah, but I want them extra toppings.
Not even just that.
You will get those extra toppings at the allotted time because you have to let Insomniac do their thing. Like, I don't think I hope it's not a big portion of people sending these threats out to Insomniac, and it's just,
I mean,
small.
Would it really be crazy to say that it's a big portion of people sending these threats?
I feel like it would be
considering that a lot of us are normal.
Well, let's be honest.
I keep looking at things from Arlen. Wait, what do you say?
One is too goddamn many.
Yeah, one is too many. Yeah, exactly. One is too many.
Stories like this, I just think back. I was like, do we deserve the internet?
Bro, I be sitting here saying, like, yo, I don't think y'all deserve games sometimes. I'm gonna keep it a stack with you. Sometimes I sit here and I see these stories. I'm just like, yo, y'all don't deserve games. Like, why are any of these studios making games for you? You don't know how to act. You act like
honestly
children.
Honestly, sometimes I feel like when people be writing those, I feel like sometimes when people be writing or emailing game companies and whatnot, angry letters, threats, acts of violence and outrage. I feel like a lot of that should come with some sort of like individual consequence. Like your account gets flagged, or your gamer tag, whatever has your gamer tag with it, with their accounts and whatnot. You get a week ban and a warning notice of your actions, like stuff like that. I'm not saying make a public display out of somebody or even a group of people. But there should be a consequence to this because people act out when they know that there is no consequence. Like they act out to the highest order when they know that there's no consequence to it.
And damn well they say this sort of shit to these developers because they know professionally developers can't say things that I would say if someone were threatening my life. Because if you were threatening my life, I'm gonna say some of the most rudest, hurtful shit that you are ever going to hear, straight up. Because ain't no way you're gonna cross those lines with me.
And then imagine going into somebody's establishment like Tones. I told you about like what happened to me at work. Imagine somebody come up into your shop and they threaten your life, bro. We carry. It's the South. We carry.
We will always start.
And you think that sending death threats to a multi-million-dollar company, and you're like, they're not gonna do nothing. What if somebody up there have a bad day?
Yeah, right.
And they take it too far.
Even if we deserve the internet, we probably don't deserve game developers. These people work
straight up.
These are some of the most patient and tolerant people.
And they're
maybe, but even if they weren't, right, we would know. Like these, it's. I feel like sometimes, like with the way that we can hear people treating these people, they don't get thanked.
Nope.
They don't get acknowledged. Like, sure, they're in the credits, but like you're only going to hear about one or two people from a game studio.
9 times out of 10, you're skipping the credits too.
I've sat through credits though. Like Cyberpunks, I sat through all that shit the entire way through.
I've watched credits, but
I did for Mass Effect.
Credits more now, ironically.
Did you read them though? I be reading credits.
I read the ones especially for Mass Effect
that catch my attention.
I read the ones for Mass Effect. I read the ones for Dead Space. Excuse me.
I think Marvel's conditioned us to do that now. To be honest with you.
Yeah, so, Marvel for definitely.
They even said I'm sure they're overworked too.
Time about to do his thing.
Oh, for sure, Nier Automata.
Time's about to do his thing. I can see it. I can see it on his face.
I think that Time is going to not just cook, but he is going to fry some bacon. So before we go to Time, I want to go to Goji, because Goji is our resident Spider-Man fan. You know what I'm saying? Like, I've recently seen this man not even at an event dressed in a Spider-Man.
The guy sitting on a Marvel chair, isn't?
Look, Hustle is sitting on an Iron Man chair. Raijin, I'm going to give him the Mega Man. I'm sorry.
He's a Spider-Man fan too.
I'm going to give him the Mega Man. Like, Goji wears spider suits just because. This man has a whole closet. He has a special closet just for spider suits. Goji, do you have a spider suit on now?
No, but I got one
spider suit. I said on now. Like, put it like this. It's very likely he would have one on now.
I'm just saying the motherfucker's currently. Yeah, actually, I don't know. Do you have a Spider-Man?
Bro, it was in reaching distance. It was in the reach.
It's always within reach. That's what I'm saying. Like, he keeps the Spider-Man mask close to him like he would keep a blick.
Yo, Tony, like the two of us here, we're not Spider-Man for Halloween at all. Like, what are you talking about?
I am a huge Spider-Man fan.
I was Spider-Man last Friday.
I got Spidey socks on.
I got Spidey socks up.
But I cannot say that I have ever seen a photo of you not being on Halloween, just out there being Spider-Man.
I was literally Spider-Man last Friday just because.
Not only that,
he don't do that.
Not only that,
he don't do
not
that.
only that, just because he was Spider-Man around bitches. I'm kidding. They're not. They're very nice. They're very nice. What I'm saying,
me and you don't do that, so he might have us beat.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like,
OG said he was gonna find his Mary Jane.
You got it.
Not for nothing. If making all the armors from the X series was easy to do, I would probably have a whole ass closet of them. Have them like Iron Man style, just like, or the Batcave style, just up ready to go. It's like, yo, I really want to be in the Shadow armor today. Nah, Falcon armor. I'm thinking.
So,
you know what?
What you think it is? It's a Monday. Threatening the developers for Spider-Man 2, that amazing game.
So for as much as I'm a Spider-Man fan, I'm also a Harry Potter fan, and I just want the Spider-Man fans to understand that us Hogwarts Legacy fans have been waiting for any type of extra content drop since going on this time last year. You know,
February of last year.
And the only thing we got is last gen drop. So for the Spider-Man fans who are complaining that from October to now they haven't gotten new game plus or a new suit or a side quest, bro, be patient. Like,
they gave you like 75 variations of the suits
of the suits that are out there, all the side quests that they have,
4 colors for each suit. Like,
it's just
you could literally play the game over and over with every suit and still not having enough time.
A really good 20 plus hour campaign.
Exactly, and that's not even including all the side stuff that you can do. Like, it's so much, it's a lot there. Like, be cool what we got. It took them longer to drop New Game Plus on the first one. I mean, we didn't get New Game Plus until right. Yeah, it was right before the first DLC dropped.
Yeah, it was a whole year after that game launch.
Just be patient. I understand. You know what I'm saying? I haven't touched this since I beat it. Exactly. You know, Insomniac
is Insomniac. Like, they do what they do, and they do damn well.
They took care of us the first go round. They dropped Miles Morales, and that was great to hold us over until now. And they gave us an amazing game for the second game. So just have fun with what we got. You know, you play the game again with a different suit for each character. Like,
it might not be new game before March happens around, but it's like They told you New Game Plus is going to be out. These people have shit to do. Like, let them do their thing. Let these developers do their
not human. They gotta do what I want when I want it.
And that's what it's
basically. That's what it's come down to.
That is Time's whole point. Like, we deserve this. Man, we don't even deserve these developers right now, bro. Like, we need to have this and we need to have that, and Elden Ring DLC and gaming and bro.
Gaming is a privilege.
The game was complete, right? You got an ending, right? But now you need this and you need that. All of a sudden, you were just complaining about having to spend extra money on microtransactions last week, but now all of a sudden you mad because they didn't give you something else so you can spend your money on so that you can continue the story. That's my thing. Gamers don't know what they want. People
they really don't.
They think they want something, and then when you give it to them, all of a sudden they complain about it because you're giving it to them. So my whole consensus, my whole pet peeve that I never really got to talk about, people don't know what they want. Gamers don't know what they want.
You know what? I'm not even.
That reminds me of the Call of Duty situation.
With the battle pass or with the DMZ thing?
No, remember when all the futuristic games were coming out and everybody was like, we want boots on the ground. We want boots on the ground. And World War II dropped in. We don't want this.
Give us new weapons. Give us modern
our movement back. Give us our jetpacks. And it's just like,
and now they're complaining about that. It's like,
it's just a never-ending cycle. So yeah, I agree. Gamers don't know what they want.
Call of Duty tried to find that balance because what they try to do, all right, so y'all don't want World War II. Y'all definitely don't want World War I. Y'all don't want jetpacks in the future. So
I don't want
all right. Vietnam. All right.
And to be honest, in my opinion, Cold War is one of the best games they've dropped in a while. Like it.
Yeah, I done Cold War. It
played pretty good. I mean it wasn't the best, like the 80s, but it definitely wasn't the worst.
Right.
I ain't gonna lie.
You got some bacon on the stove, bro?
Sizzle, sizzle.
Fry him up. Fry him up. Go ahead. Fry us all up. Fry us, all of us gamers. Just fry us up.
Frying pants in the chat.
I'm not trying to fry anyone here. It's just
let him out. Let's get some bacons in the chat, y'all. Some bacons in the chat.
Working in the games industry is an incredible privilege. Not a day goes by that I don't really.
We got bacons in the chat too.
Not a day goes by that I don't sit there and feel grateful that I have the opportunities that I do and that people want to play the stuff that I work on. That's freaking cool. But it's still a corporate job at the end of the day. Like a lot of us, at least for me, I can't speak for everyone. I got into the games industry thinking it was going to be an entirely different beast than what it turned out to be. I didn't expect it to be meetings and having to listen to numbers, and I never thought about the business side of things, and I never realized how volatile it was. Like, I never realized that it was so incredibly easy for people to work at a place for 15 years. All of their colleagues look at them with nothing but respect. And because someone who sits in an office someplace was going through and auditing line items, they were able to just take that away so quick. So that's something that a lot of game developers walk around with on their mind all the time. But they still love the stuff they work on. So when they go to social media and they see people ragging on them because something isn't right, or they're not getting enough information, or they're not getting this feature fast enough, it just makes them feel like shit. It's just like, piles on to what could potentially be an already tough time for them. Game developers want to feel good about the stuff they work on. They love video games. They love the games they work on. They love the communities that play their games. When you go walking through any of these like live service games, like a Blizzard, like a live studio, like a Blizzard or a Bungie, when you go walking through the studio and you look at their TVs, it's just live streamers everywhere. When you go like walking by desks, it's people who are watching Twitch streamers. Like, these developers are gamers too, and it hurts them. I think, at least it hurts me at times. It's certainly hurt me in the past, where you see people who are like them, potentially friends, shitting on your stuff in unproductive ways, not giving like, not giving like
constructive criticism.
Yeah, not giving constructive criticism, just screaming to the cloud, because the way people use social media is, well, it's just my opinion. Who cares? But like, it's not just your opinion. It's your opinion with like the other 20,000 people who are going to show up in the algorithm because I like to read news on my game. And now it's just like a day of doom scrolling. Like, anytime a bad news breaks about, like during the Kotick era, anytime anything with Kotick would pop up, my feed for a day was just, maybe a week, would just be doom scrolling between journalists and gamers and other game developers. It's overwhelming. So I feel like situations like this with the Spider-Man 2 devs, it's just incredibly unfair. These people had arguably one of the most successful game launchers in recent years, like up in, not like the most, but it was really good, really well received.
Really well received game. Yeah. That was only on one platform, so it was huge. Yeah, I get it.
And sequels are really hard to get good praise for.
And they nailed it. They said that this might have been better than the original.
Yeah, which doesn't happen often. So it just sucks to have all of that ruined by people who were upset that they're not getting stuff like a New Game Plus. Like, you have this amazing piece of work in front of you and you're upset. And it's a good problem to have when people want more of your stuff. It's a great problem to have. But like, I just wish that our community was better at showing a little more empathy, like thinking about the things they type and then like hitting the send button. Like, there's other creators even in this space that like I have a lot of respect for as humans, but some of the shit they say on Twitter is just like did you have to say it like that?
Right. And here's the thing to remember for the gamers out there, not particularly our audience, because I think our audience is pretty savvy, immature when it comes to that sort of thing. But I mean, in general, outside of our audience, you have to remember this, y'all. Gaming is a privilege and a luxury. It is not a right. You don't have a right to game. You don't have a right to own a console. You don't have a right to play a game. It's something that you choose to play with the money that you have. So you need to act accordingly to that. Stop being entitled and feeling like you deserve certain things because you bought a game or because you support X company or whatever. That's not how it works, dude. It's a luxury item. You don't need. Here's the thing. None of us need games. Realistically speaking, do any of us actually need video games here? No. You have hobbies outside of gaming. No, you have hobbies outside of gaming. All of us have hobbies outside of gaming. I don't prove my point. I don't prove my point.
For fun?
Exactly. I'll prove my point. Everybody name off at least one thing you do that is not video game related that is a hobby of yours.
Motorcycles.
You like motorcycles.
I hope you said video game related because I play card games.
No, No video games. No, it's not video games. Anything. Period. Just a hobby you have that is not game related. Raijin?
Host trivia.
I'm a dad.
Host trivia. Tone?
I play games. That's what I do.
Stop that. You own the one wheel. You have e-bikes.
Oh, that been gone.
Jesus Christ.
He traded that for a one-piece.
Wait, no. Tones, you own the motorcycle too.
That been gone for like 10 years.
But you have interest in things that are not video games.
I have interest in everything. I play video games. That's my hobby.
Oh my god, yo. Koji.
I'm a dad,
That's not a hobby. That's
not a hobby. That's an obligation. You're gonna just choose to be a dad. You legally are obligation. Yeah.
I don't know what to do without them.
I literally own a car that I can play video games in, bro. Like, let's be really real.
Y'all not play basketball? Shoot pool?
I play 2K.
Yeah. I like to go to the bar. I like to go to the bar and sing karaoke and shoot pool.
Jesus Christ. Time.
Loon, you gonna stop saying that my vehicle is a police car.
Todd, do you have hobbies that are not game related?
As someone who drives a
currently
police vehicle myself,
at this moment, no. But well, I don't have
Yo, y'all are blowing his whole thing up.
I'm sorry,
guys, we're ruining his point.
All right, so hold on. Let's think about this for a second. I work from about 8 to 5. That's video games. I get done work. I go to the gym. That's about it.
Okay, we can use that. The gym.
That's like
that's not a
an
hobby.
hour of my day.
That's not a hobby. That's
required maintenance.
Yeah,
It's so accurate, though.
Required maintenance.
That is required maintenance.
Hey, you know what you need to be fucked
really
up?
have me thinking. Do I have any hobbies outside of video games? Do I?
Like, I'm glad that you got a life, but don't project your bullshit on me.
Anyone play board games?
Yeah, like,
Don't project your
play card games.
life bullshit on me.
I don't need this nonsense.
Y'all play Uno, Spades,
I play card games. I play the one-player trading card game. I like anime.
I can't talk about on the
I play Pokemon
on the show. It's a post show.
That's true. D&D technically counts as well too. That is a board game by all intents.
So I don't play D&D, but I would love to.
I play D&D, but not actively.
Well, it doesn't. I'm not gonna say actively. Just in general, do you have hobbies that are not game related? They don't have to be something.
No,
You don't add bacon to the chat for my police car.
Hobbies.
It's not a police car. Thank you.
I'm just saying hobbies in general, not game related. Do you have them? Yes or no?
No.
Sirens in the chat for his police car.
Damn it!
If you want to say historic pastimes, I have a pastime if I like to play music. I have a pastime.
There you go.
I like to do fantasy football. I have a pastime.
I mean, I have that too. I do a little bit of fantasy.
I like to watch videos about games. Is that a hobby?
I'm like giving you the lamp and you fumble that shit every time.
That was a 360 windmill right there.
Like, come on, dog.
When I'm not playing video games, my hobby is to watch videos to learn more about video games.
Bro, I thought this
Like
nigga
the
misses.
You call me crazy, but I feel like that falls under the umbrella of video games.
A little bit.
Yeah.
I tried.
A little bit.
I tried.
You know what?
Wait, hold on, Goji. Actually, your hobby is dressing up like Spider-Man.
That's not a
If
hobby.
we're going to consider pastimes as hobbies, that's fine. But the question I asked was active hobbies.
He dresses up like Spider-Man when he wants.
Okay, all right.
I'll take that.
You know what?
We'll
label that cosplay. There you go.
Cosplay.
There we go.
Well,
see, we work something out.
Video games and pastimes.
Is it cosplay if he just buys the outfit?
Yes, that's still cosplay.
Okay, that's fair.
Speaking of games and
I
pastimes,
genuinely don't know.
Yeah, that's still
I
cosplay.
wanted to let y'all know that I found out this week Tencent is actually working on making Elden Ring mobile.
I just saw it.
I don't know how I feel about that.
Ew.
I mean, that's what happens when you're. I don't know. How do you make a mobile Souls game?
Yeah. So I'll say this: with the way mobile games have been like going recently, you can kind of get AAA style mobile games.
A Souls type game.
I mean, we have GTA on mobile, the definitive edition on mobile. I mean, shout out to
and
Netflix.
It's trash if you don't have a backbone.
I have a specific controller just for my phone.
See?
Yeah, I get you.
Yeah.
I've been looking at,
but I feel like it's gonna be
phones.
one of those type games, though.
Oh yeah, like
the ROG.
The ROG, the Red Magic, or the Magic
I had the Razer phone too for a little bit.
But would you like to fight Margit with just a cell phone screen?
You want to use your on-screen joystick and buttons to fight Margit?
No.
You don't.
You
don't.
I mean,
I would rather have nails driven through my feet.
Yikes. All right. So Craig said that pastimes are technically hobbies. So we all have something that's a non-gaming related pastime, like me doing photography and videography. I just feel like it's kind of more work than it is a hobby and pastime now.
But it only feels like work. It only feels like work if you stop enjoying it, though.
I think that was the point.
But you did that.
You did that to yourself.
But here's the thing. You chose something creative. You don't do that unless you have a vested interest in that. If it was strictly about exactly, but if it was strictly about money, you could have chosen literally anything else. You could have been like a tax preparer or something else.
Yes.
But
that's why I'm here with you guys now. I'm still being creative, but as far as doing the photography and videography, that editing can eat it. Never mind.
It's still something creative.
Jazz hands.
So anyway,
spirit fingers.
Speaking of games that actually were having hard development cycles and got a lot of negativity surrounding them, I wanted to actually touch on a game called Granblue Fantasy Relink. So this game was actually announced back in 2016, and it actually was announced as a collaboration between Cygames and Platinum Games. It was supposed to be a JRPG. It had like an open-ish world, but it wasn't open world. And it was like a really, really long and difficult development cycle. Like I said, by the time we get a trailer, it's probably already been in the works for a couple of years, because obviously they had to put assets together enough for us to, they had to put enough assets together for us to be able to get a trailer, right? So this game, Granblue Fantasy Relink, actually just released, I believe, last week, and it actually released to really, really positive results. So far, using SteamDB as a reference, it surpassed the concurrent player numbers of both Persona 3 Reload and Like a Dragon Infinite Wealth, with a peak concurrent player count of 114,000. Okay, I mean, it's not doing Power World numbers, but it's definitely surpassed those other games that came out in their same that same time frame. Like I said, during its development cycle, like it was originally announced to be a collaboration between Cygames and Platinum Games. During its development cycle, Platinum Games pulled out. Then it became an in-house game for Cygames. It was purely Cygames. And this is probably like, say if we got the announcement in 2016, Platinum Games might have pulled out by 2018, 2019 at the latest. So Cygames just kept plugging away. They would release an update every once in a while, but for the most part, the game went radio silent. Now that we've actually gotten this game, we also have gotten it not just to high concurrent player numbers, but it's also gotten a very positive review rating on like Steam. It's reviewed really well, especially for a JRPG. Like, it's been getting 9s. It's been getting, I'm not seeing anything less than an 8 personally. But they say that the gameplay kind of mixes like that design and progression style from like Monster Hunter and your typical JRPG. And they definitely encourage playing with other players or playing with other people. So like when you get to that end game and you're doing those boss hunts and those boss rushes, like they say play with other players instead of playing with computer players. So what I want to do is I want to start this one around with Raijin. How you feel about JRPGs first and foremost? Because I don't really know how you feel about JRPGs.
Use my console for at this point, like a couple other games. Nah, because I didn't get Infinite Wealth yet. I was just waiting because I knew there were so many other damn games coming out. But that's honestly the main genre game I still play to this day. Like it's like that when I have time, Monster Hunter or random ass games on like Steam. But like JRPGs are still like my most played. Like play One Piece Odyssey last year, Final Fantasy 16. What else? What other? Obviously, all the Personas coming out. I just started Persona 3 Reload. Played the hell of Persona 5. Like, yeah, that's probably the main thing. And I'm happy Granblue's doing good because I like Granblue Versus.
Yeah,
I thought that was a solid fighting, but then it just was like dead on arrival after like 2 months, and like that online population.
Original one or the new one?
Or OG one. But even when Relink, Relink's the new one, Rebirth, whatever they called it. Whatever they called it on Steam.
Versus Rising is the
versus Rising.
Rising, yeah, but I saw that had a solid thing, but even then they kind of like with Mortal Kombat, Tekken, Street Fighter 6, it got overshadowed by all that shit.
And they got a free version.
Yeah, King of Fighters 15, all those dropped last year, so it just got overshadowed. But I want to get Relink, but I was watching some gameplay. I'm not sure how I feel about the whole co-op end-game battles thing for like a RV, like I said, I haven't played it, but that seems weird to me. Well, I'm just saying, like, I'm not sure how I would feel like getting my characters up and then it's like doing co-ops, because I feel like if I want to play a game like that, I would specifically play a game that's fully designed like a Diablo or a Lost Ark or like something like that. Or
I don't think that's quite what it is. Like I said, so imagine choosing a weapon in Monster Hunter and playing with that weapon and then building the weapon to be like a better version of that weapon. That's kind of how I'm looking at it. Instead of you like switching weapons freely, you just change character.
It's like boss encounters from what I played in the demo. It was like boss encounters. So it's like they start you off in like literally a boss arena for a good portion of these things, and you can be playing a co-op with like your friends and shit. I have fun playing it.
I'm not gonna lie, I look forward to honestly buying it because I got into Granblue because of the anime, to be honest with you. I didn't play the games. I watched the anime and I was like, yo, this is fire. And then when I found out that
I played the games, like, you know, I nerded out a little bit. When
I found out about the game is when I realized like when I watched the anime and then I found out about the Relink, when I saw the drop about Relink, and I was like, oh, it's a game.
Yeah,
and I realized, that the anime, it started as a game, and then they made an anime from it. Right. It wasn't the other way around.
Yeah, it's like Fate.
And I was like, like how Fate was. Yeah, and I was like, yo, this is all right. And I could see myself, you know, dropping $30 on this to try this out, because honestly, like, I really enjoy when they do things like that, when they give a game an anime, because they use the anime community to hype up their original product, which was a line of games. They did the same thing with Persona. Persona started off as games, and then they created the Persona animes, which hyped up the community from the anime community, and then transferred over to their games. Because with Devil Survivor,
what year did you say you were born? Because $30 for a game.
Ooh.
You just said $30 or so dollars.
First of all, I was saying that because Pal World is $30.
It's not the same.
Yeah, it's not the same. I was about to say I don't remember games ever being $30. Like
I know.
I'm older than you, and I never remember that.
Yeah. I was just saying that because Power World is $30 on Steam.
Oh no, but no, I believe it's actually 60. For even like the PlayStations or whatever.
For what the Granblue?
Yeah.
Oh yeah. I looked it up on Steam. Yeah, it's 60.
Yeah.
That's 60. Yeah.
But yeah, like we talked about Spider-Man, and even though it was a very successful game, and like I always want to try to balance out some of our more negative news and our negative points with positive ones. So I just kind of wanted to highlight like this is a game that struggled in its development, but I don't know many stories of games that struggled during development only to end up with success on their launch, like coming out to glowing reviews. But then again, I don't really know much about development cycles either.
Usually not that often. Usually it's like launches bad, but then becomes great.
Usually down the line gets better or something.
Yeah. It goes through a growth period, basically.
Yeah, so it's good to see something come out good from the rip after having a troubled development cycle.
Again,
I missed what you had referenced. You had never seen a game.
Oh, I
struggled in development.
Struggled in development, but come out to like glowing reviews, like rave reviews.
But I would also have the addendum for a franchise not a lot of people like.
That's also
know about like that.
Yeah, that's also true. Yeah.
I don't know. I'm sure it happened. Like any game that you know of that's gone through crunch has probably at some point had some development issues, and that's most games.
Yeah, but a whole studio pulling out is a little bit more than.
Yeah, you're right there. Yeah, you're right there. I don't really know. I can't think of anything off the top of my head, but it doesn't mean that it hasn't happened.
True.
It's definitely impressive as hell. I think that it's a testament to whoever it was that got it out the door. It's a testament to their work ethic and their skill. It's hard.
And their dedication.
It's hard to get a good game out the door. It's hard to get a game out the door. It feels
grueling.
It feels lucky to be able to get a successful game out the door. Like, there's a saying that drives people nuts because they feel like it undermines all the hard work that's done. But I don't have a better word for it than it feels like magic.
Yeah.
Like on a game that doesn't go through the shit that like this did, it feels like magic. So the fact that these folks got this stuff done is just truly impressive.
I mean, you told before about how long a game is usually in development, how much money is spent on the game that's put in development. For this to have been announced in 2016 and finally released in 2024, that's 8 years between announcement and release, and we're not even counting the other years that it might have been worked on prior to that. Like, I really think that this is a huge accomplishment, especially for a smaller studio.
Because usually, a studio pulling out of development is pretty much death sentence to the game.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yep.
So for a studio to pull out and it still proceeds to be successful is like kind of crazy. Wait, no, there's another one that did have a troubling development cycle. Metal Gear Rising. That had a troubling development cycle because at first it started off, it was just going to be Kojima and his team, and the game looked drastically different than what it turned out to be at the end of development.
Was Metal Gear Rising wildly successful?
Yeah, I'd say so.
I don't.
Maybe that's the level of like Granblue, but like it was well received when it came out.
Well, I've not played it. I'm asking.
Really? Yeah.
I would say it was.
One of my favorite games.
For what it went through, it was pretty successful.
Yeah, the development cycle was crazy for that. Because
Kojima was
platinum. Yeah, because Kojima was originally first fully on board writing the story, all that stuff.
This is before the Konami issue.
Yeah.
This year before Metal Gear Rising came out. When was it 2012, 2013?
12, yeah.
Yeah, 2012. But it was announced back in. Oh God.
It was announced way before that. It was announced.
Was it like 08?
It was like right after 08. It was 08, so because it was like right after.
It was like August 08, I think.
Yeah, it was like right after Metal Gear Solid 4 came out. They announced Revengeance.
Yeah, and Kojima was supposed to originally do all the writing, directing, and all that stuff, and the combat system was drastically different than what ended up being the Platinum version of it. So then when he pulled out of the project, Platinum then fully developed it, did the story and all that stuff from there, and it ended up being a successful game.
It looks like total sales about like 2.5 mil, 2.6 mil for like a Metal Gear spinoff.
Yeah,
made by Platinum Games.
For a spinoff that doesn't have Kojima as a director of a character that not that many people were thrilled about until 4.
Yeah.
That's a success story right there.
Remember the 52 fake out of Metal Gear Solid 2?
Boy, people were pissed. Great story, but man, that changeover that pissed people off.
They're lucky we didn't have the internet back then.
Oh my God, bro!
Well, in the capacity that we have it now.
Yeah, back then we had the internet in form of game FAQs,
forums, and you know what I'm saying,
chat rooms.
Yeah, chat room forums. Yeah.
If we had
that was
like,
the days
Twitter
right there.
Nah, bro. No.
Fuck Kojima.
We don't like the fact that social media wasn't really a thing until MySpace came around, and then even MySpace was like social media 0.5 because you didn't really get on MySpace and share your opinions. You just got on MySpace to design your own page. Honestly. So MySpace was literally just bringing people into the basics of coding.
Yeah.
And then after MySpace, you had
my top 8 and have my background song perfect.
Right.
Yep.
Background song.
After MySpace, you had Bebo.
Yep. So MySpace was the basics of coding. So I just, like I said, I wanted to highlight a little bit of a positive story when it comes to gaming. Also, give you guys some cool news. Henry Cavill is, Superman. He actually has gotten the rights to basically star and executive produce in a new Warhammer 40K series that's coming out soon, and he actually calls the experience the greatest privilege of his career, which I don't know if it's going to sit well with everyone, considering that.
Ain't this kind of old news? This was announced like a few months ago. I'm just saying.
Damn.
Where y'all been?
What I'm gonna say is, honestly, from watching Henry Cavill's career, going from Superman
to Geralt,
The Witcher, to do this. He's also in another movie too.
Can I just say I enjoyed his portrayal of Geralt way more than I enjoyed him as Superman?
Yeah, I won't lie. I will 100% agree with you on that, Goji. I enjoy him 1,000% more as Geralt than as Superman.
Agreed.
Yep.
Not to say that his acting.
Not to say his Superman was bad. I mean, I'm not saying he was a bad Superman.
I'm not throwing shade.
The material might have been bad,
Yeah. I'll say
yeah.
The writing of him as Superman was bad.
Yo, careful. You gonna get the Snyder heads in here. Yo.
I don't give a goddamn about them.
They are legitimately crazy.
They are delusional. Straight Delulu.
Delulu. I love it.
Nothing to do with them. I am a Snyder fan. Not that hard.
Delulu.
That is great at making comic films. I will give him that.
They're gonna come at us in slow motion, so it doesn't even matter.
What I will say about it is that he's a great actor. All right. Yeah. He obviously has great work ethic because you never hear anything bad about him from the set. And
he's the executive producing, so his money's going.
Yeah, he's clearly
a big budget
skyrocketing right now.
Look, DC paid him. That's all I'm gonna say.
No, they need to give Amazon need to give him whatever
they
budget.
Paid him to digitally remove that mustache
and let him go wild,
bro.
40K. Considering the visual, look, the ships.
Man of Steel was a classic.
Yeah, what? The Imperium ships alone in the 40K universe, detailed and designed those things are, right? They look like floating churches.
Could you imagine? Could you imagine? Like, all right, so we got Star Wars. And Star Wars has been around since I believe 1976 or 78. As far as like when the first movies came out. Could you imagine having the actual space exploration and that whole aspect of Warhammer, as well as all the rest of Warhammer's like whole thing, finally being put to a screen and like it being done extremely well? How far this series is going to skyrocket, because Warhammer is already huge between being a tabletop game and 62,000 actual video games. Like Warhammer is a huge thing. So could you imagine if this series is actually good?
I think it's gonna be good, because like if you watch any interviews with Henry Cavill, he's like probably one of the biggest Warhammer nerds like ever.
Extremely passionate.
He'll be interviewed about random other shit, and then it's like, oh yeah, I'm all about like Warhammer, and then it's like, wait, what's that? And then he just goes, it's like, oh, let's see, you build your army. It's like, yo,
I love it. I love it when actors do that.
Then they're like, how do you feel about playing Superman? Oh, it's okay, but Warhammer, right?
Warhammer though.
It's like biggest superhero all time guy. Warhammer though.
I mean, do you know why it's really going to be good? Because we're doing it for the Emperor.
Yeah, for the Emperor.
For the Emperor. For the Emperor.
So here's a prediction. I halfway feel like Cavill's going to crush it with Warhammer. And will be the next person, assuming nothing happens before then, to pick up the mantle for a Warcraft movie.
Let him cook.
Like,
okay.
I feel like
he needs to be Arthas. I don't give a fuck. He needs to be Arthas.
I feel like
please give me this.
I feel like this is paving the way for it, man. Like, if you really think about like what it sounds like he was ultimately fired for on The Witcher, it was trying to hold them
accountable for the story.
Accountable for the quality of the show.
Yeah. Can we get Bacon's in the chat again? Because this man is really on fire right now.
Like, that's how it read to me when he was fired. It read to me that like they didn't like that he was trying to hold them accountable to a level of quality to the source material, and knew that people wouldn't like the changes.
Yep.
Yeah.
My God.
So if he can bring that kind of vision to the Warhammer universe, we already know he's a big Warcraft fan. I feel like he might be the guy for video game adaptations.
I mean, if I remember right, in an interview, he said he was literally in a WoW raid when he got the call for Superman.
Yeah.
And
here's the thing: if you do an animated version of any of that stuff, video game related, just give it to Adi Shankar. Just give it to him, the guy who did Castlevania and who's going to be doing Devil May Cry. Give it to him. Nobody else do it. If it's live action, Henry Cavill. Animated, Adi Shankar. Nobody else should be able to be allowed to touch any video game properties except those two.
That's did David from Cyberpunk.
I mean, I wouldn't go that far. I just think the moral of the story is that, like, if you have talented people in Hollywood that actually enjoy the source material, they should probably be the ones who are handling the creative direction for the franchises. I think you can be a fantastic like showrunner, creative visionary that helps guide stuff along, but if you don't know the property, you shouldn't be deciding the future. Like, you can be in the room and bouncing ideas off of people, but like, you probably shouldn't be making important decisions.
No, definitely not.
I feel that.
And if they're gonna do a 40K,
sorry, I just remembered. I was watching a documentary, I think, recently on, it was a YouTube video or something. Yeah, it was a YouTube video on why Sin City was so good. And like one of the things they did with Sin City was they made Frank Miller a director on the movie, so that he was on equal level with the actual director. Not because he was actually directing necessarily, but they wanted him to be on the same level as the director so that the actors would instinctively know to go ask Frank for character directions, as opposed to having him having to filter through like directors and stuff. They just put him right there so that the actors just knew to talk to him.
Yep. That's why One Piece ended up being as good too. Yeah. But One Piece
because they went straight to Oda.
Yeah.
So no, that's the creator. That's not a super fan, but you know, like it's just it stands to reason that you should have these kinds of people in this position. Sorry for cutting you off.
Oh no.
I was just saying also, if they're gonna do a 40K series, do the Horus Heresy first. Just start off with that. I would love to see that live action start off with the Horus Heresy, because that pretty much sets the stage, at least for majority of a lot of stuff that happens in 40K, especially when it comes to the Space Marines. And you know, I'm a Space Marine fanboy here, so
I mean they still have room. They could even
so much stuff.
They could do a rogue trader story. And like there are so many starting points that you can actually hit when you're doing 40K. So and still get your Space Marine fix, still get your heretics, still get your like you still get all of it. So I mean, I think that they have a wide variety of source material, and because there's no actual source material, like there's no like, oh, we have to stick to this story or this timeline, and like it gives them a lot of
the story down into this entire universe.
Yeah, and let's not forget, the 40K Space Marines are why Master Chief exists. It's why StarCraft exists. It's why Doom exists. There's so many things that were inspired specifically by the 40K Space Marines. And you have to thank Games Workshop for that even being a thing.
Yeah. So
I mean,
go ahead, Tom.
Oh, sorry. Even going outside of 40K, like the reason we have like a Warcraft series is because they pitched the Warhammer RTS to them, and the Games Workshop was like, nah, we're good. So they were like, all right, cool, we're gonna
make our own.
We're gonna go make our own thing.
We're gonna do this. Make our own medieval orcs versus human game, and there we go.
I'm actually happy that happened. To be honest with you, it kind of works out for everybody
because then that's how StarCraft came about.
Warcraft is still big, so it's like it worked out that Games Workshop was like, nah.
I mean, it is what it is. Speaking of, you know, various things when it comes to video games and why we do things and why we have certain games, let's move into the real topic of the night. So apparently, there have been rumors spread about that Microsoft might be going completely multi-platform with their exclusives. Let me get into the details, though. So the rumors have been circulating for weeks that Microsoft is going to be releasing Starfield onto the PlayStation 5. This has been coming from well-known sources. And there also been rumors like Gears of War. We've been actually hearing these rumors since somewhere around June of last year. Gears of War, Hi-Fi Rush. So to this day, Microsoft has not confirmed nor denied any of these rumors. Like, we've just been hearing them. They've just been swimming around. You know, if you don't squash a rumor, then it's just going to continue to spread. So in response to these allegations, Phil Spencer, you know, head of Xbox Gaming, he actually made a post on Twitter this week, and he basically said that they have a planned business update event next week that is going to be sharing more details on their vision for the future of Xbox. And so right now, what we're left with is this gigantic cliffhanger, because the rumors have just been spreading and spreading, like Starfield on PlayStation, Gears of War, Hi-Fi Rush, all of these games coming to PlayStation after, you know, obviously these different studios have been acquired by Microsoft and the company has just been growing and growing. You know, it's like, oh, well, we're not going to get these games anymore because they're owned by Microsoft. So, with that being said, what do we speculate that this vision could be? Do we think that these rumors could turn out to be true? Is there any basis in or you know what, not even basis. Is there any merit that this could be something that actually happens? One. And number two, I'm just going to end with that question for now. I want to ask Goji, what do you think? Are you an Xbox player? Are you a PlayStation player? What do you mainly? Okay. Are you literally holding a whole bunch of controllers?
I don't know. You know, as a PlayStation fan, you know, this isn't something that comes to surprise me, right? I used to have this conversation when Xbox first turned their motto into just getting people into their ecosystem as opposed to selling consoles. I was having a conversation with a friend of mine, and basically, when you stop worrying about the physical hardware, which once they sold where PlayStation 4, the original PlayStation 4 had outsold the Xbox One. And then they stopped showing their sales and everything. And they were just like, yeah, no, I'm saying we're just focused on getting people into our ecosystem. We just want as many people to have Game Pass as possible. We just want you to be able to play however you want to play, wherever you want to play. There was the writings on the wall, because at that point, Microsoft realized they were losing the console war, the quote unquote console war. So they started, that's when they pushed for PC. You know what I'm saying? That's when PC Game Pass first came out. And it was, get it how you get it. PC. You know what I'm saying? So once that happened, I really realized that, Microsoft is they're out of they're slowly but surely going out of the console game. Even to the point where now there's a rumor that their next console, whatever it may be, whatever the next generation of consoles may be, is going to be a straight streaming console as opposed to a physical disc console, you know? And digital releases are becoming the new hot and easy thing, you know, but at the end of the day, when you have the rumors and the speculations of the fact that they're going full digital, they're going full streaming, they're going all out, everything that they have can be utilized with Xbox Cloud Gaming. It's less about, go buy an Xbox Series X or Series S, and more of a get Game Pass. You know what I mean? You can use it on your phone, buy a backbone, or get a PC. You can use it on PC. And like I have every console except an Xbox, because I can play the Xbox games directly on my PC right now. You know, so to hear that the best-selling games for Xbox, the exclusives, the things that quote unquote are keeping people buying Xboxes, are eventually going to become, you know, third-party games for PlayStation. It's not surprising to me, especially with the accusation of Bethesda, and knowing that the Elder Scrolls 6 doesn't deserve to stick on one console on itself, because we know it's going to be on PC too, but doesn't deserve to stay on a single console when, Skyrim's original release on PlayStation 3 wasn't the prettiest thing, you know. There was the issue of the day that came out was, but the game it didn't play well on PlayStation 3, but we all know why. No games play good on PlayStation 3. And that's coming from someone who, while all my friends were in Xbox parties with their Xbox 360s.
Metal Gear Solid.
Touche. Okay. But it was built for it, but you know.
I mean, I had a 360 and a PS3, and I didn't really notice a difference in games.
There were certain games that were.
The JRPGs play pretty well. The JRPGs play really well on.
I mean, that was what I played. That was what I played most, and that was what I used the system for most often. But you know, I definitely get what you're saying. Like, as far as, you know, we kind of saw it coming. I mean, I don't necessarily know that I saw it coming. I don't really know that I necessarily saw it coming, because obviously Microsoft has been in the console war and they've been a strong contender. Without an Xbox, without another console, what stops whoever from charging whatever and doing whatever? The basis of
we have two other consoles, and Nintendo still charges full price for games. That Mario Kart 8 is still a full price game, and that was a Wii U game.
Yeah, Nintendo does not lower their prices at all.
True.
They don't have sales.
But could this be the end of the console wars?
I don't think so.
Yes.
I was gonna say, yeah, I agree.
I think it's because like with the console wars, like we all know, we as consumers create the console war. The companies didn't do it; they just happen to be doing what they were trying to do to make money in this capitalist hellscape. But
and we out here over exacerbating it.
Exactly. I mean, like I'm not lying. I was on the GameSpot forums back in the day because I remember they had the system wars, and I was trolling people on there back in like what was that 2002?
Yeah, who would do that? That's crazy.
I was an asshole on the forums.
I don't know who would do that,
but I think what this is saying, obviously, I think the announcement next week is I don't think they're going to explicitly say we're not coming out with another console. I think they're going to be clarifying what their plans are with obviously with the Activision Blizzard thing being done and how that's going to be working. New Game Pass updates, maybe like an improvement to the like Xbox Cloud 3.0 or whatever to go to more devices. I don't think they're ever going to explicitly say like we lost the console war, obviously. But what I think Microsoft is trying to set themselves to do, obviously, as Goji was saying, Microsoft has been more about the ecosystem building, and they've been more about building the experience and the features and having the Game Pass and having everything on the cloud, Xbox Smart Glass, like Connect, whatever you want to say. I think they're trying to set themselves up to now be a new monopoly to competing like with the likes of like Disney, Tencent, all these other mega conglomerate companies that now have all these like Time was saying in our chat before we got it, like they're trying to gather IPs and properties that they can make money off of. And then if they can also then like drop out and say like, well, now we don't got to spend this billions of dollars on hardware R&D development, testing, software development for all this thing, and we can slowly transition into just we'll make the games and they'll just generate money for us on other people's stuff that we don't even have to build no more. So it's
we'll make the games and you just buy Game Pass.
Yeah.
I think you're overestimating the I don't think they're ever going to be done making consoles. I think they're going to keep making consoles until Sony stops, until Nintendo stops. I think there will be a place in the Microsoft ecosystem for consoles. I just don't think that they are concerned about being in a console war. They're in an IP war, like you said. I think IPs offer a number of ways to generate money outside of just buying out of just games. They offer revenue generation in terms of like licensing rights. Like think about like Halo with the Paramount deal.
Movies, merchandising,
merchandising.
Fallout.
Like there's so much money to be made from having strong IP. On top of that, it's bolstering things like their Game Pass program. And I don't think that they see a need to stop making consoles. I could be wrong about that. It's entirely possible that they stop making them and they go to just being a publisher. But I don't think there's a huge benefit to that.
Could you imagine Game Pass on PlayStation though?
That's what I'm saying.
That won't happen.
I'm not sure.
We're not sure that wouldn't happen. But I'm just saying, like, could you imagine like
I don't think Sony would
double their subscriptions?
I feel like Sony would have to get a real pretty penny to say like, because like let's look at like obviously the selection between PS Plus Premium and Game Pass, it's not the same. Like in terms of like
not at all
quality of games. Like there's some good ass games on Premium on PlayStation Plus, but compared to like what Game Pass gets, it's not the same.
Not even close.
But the thing is now with PlayStation, the Sony people are buying those games on PlayStation. So if you then get Game Pass on there, like let's say a hypothetical Game Pass comes to Sony. Now they're not making money on the digital sales or physical sales, stuff like that. So Sony be like, well, where's our restitution for that? That's why I I think it'd be a long ass time before Game Pass would go to Sony if that's the case.
So,
but I do think
Microsoft coming out with like a portable or handheld streaming device before I see them putting Game Pass on PlayStation.
We may not see. No, go ahead.
The reality is they don't have to put Game Pass on PlayStation. It would be cool, but like most smart TVs today come equipped with Game Pass.
Yeah.
All you need is a stable internet connection. So honestly, I think Game Pass being on PlayStation would almost benefit PlayStation more than it benefits Microsoft in that. But only in the sense that it gives them access to the Microsoft library easier. But that's just my thoughts on that. I don't know how accurate that is. It's just I don't think they need it on the PlayStation, especially because of the fact of what I just said with like it being on things like a TV or a Chromecast or probably even an Apple TV. Like Game Pass is everywhere. It's not hard to access.
That was Microsoft's goal.
Here's what I think would happen. I think there still will be an Xbox of some sort. I don't think Game Pass will be on PlayStation. But Microsoft is now officially a very large publisher. What I can see happening is I can see them putting games of their library on the PlayStation. It benefits them. It makes sense and it benefits them. Like, people still buy Microsoft. I own Forza Horizon 5, the most expensive version of the shit. I wanted to buy the most expensive version of Forza. There's a lot of people who own it. There's a lot of people who own Microsoft games. Every game that they put on Steam, not every game, but a good portion of games that I have on Steam were Microsoft first-party titles that I bought. Killer Instinct was one. Forza was another one.
That was great.
Yeah. Like,
Forza is low.
If you're Microsoft, it makes more sense to make more of your games available because you're now a very large publisher. You own Activision and Blizzard. It would be dumb to just keep that down to the Microsoft ecosystem. And I think the Microsoft ecosystem as a whole is the games. Not so much the services itself, but also the games. People seem to forget that part. When you buy a Microsoft game, you're still buying into the Microsoft ecosystem. If you're on Steam and you buy Microsoft games, you are in the Microsoft ecosystem.
As our viewer said, like non-gamer watching support, like she has an 11-year-old son who prefers his PC, and she thinks that even once streaming takes over, Microsoft and all the other places will still have consoles. There will be consoles for a good while.
Yeah.
Because let's not forget, PC gaming is expensive. Like
building a PC is expensive.
So having consoles as entry level, as quote unquote entry level gaming, will always be a thing. It'll always be easy for a parent who doesn't know anything about gaming to say, "Oh, you want a PlayStation? You want an Xbox? Cool." As opposed to you need a PC with a i9 core and a 4080.
What is i9? What is a
motherboard? And you need RAM. I thought you had storage.
I said this over a decade ago at this point, probably closer to 15 years. Like Rajan and I worked at GameStop when I said this. Game Crazy, GameStop.
Worked at both.
Yep. And I said this a while ago, but I feel like at some point Microsoft took over as the Nintendo of gaming. And what I mean by that is the original Nintendo, the NES, I feel like that had a wide range of games for different audiences, even for that time, in terms of like you had your Sesame Street games, you had your Bubble Bobble, you had like cheesy McDonald's NES games.
Mega Man.
But like you also had Mega Man, but you also had like what we consider today to be like more adult titles, right? Like your Castlevanias, I would say, are like more dark.
DMC,
Michael Jackson, Moonwalker.
VR porn. He said Michael Jackson Moonwalker. God damn.
Michael Jackson Moonwalker.
But
Tones, no. Swear to God. I hope you didn't think no one caught that. No.
When we worked there, one of the qualifying questions I would ask people about like when they were buying consoles for their kids is like what age range they fell in, because like there was a sweet spot where it felt like buying a Nintendo console with the way the kids were, like the trends in that area at least, it didn't make sense, because if they were like 10 years old, or like not 10, if they were like 7 or 8 years old, 9 years old getting a console, like within the next 2 years they were going to be being asked for an Xbox 360. Because they were in that range where it was like within the next year or two they were going to have to get like another console. So like, but the Xbox at that point, like you could sell them a Connect bundle that had like Fruit Ninja. There was a whole bunch of different like really interesting like family games, like because Microsoft had a real big focus on being the console for the family. Like that was the whole like being the center of your living room was about family.
That
it was
entertainment system.
Yes.
They marketed it as an entertainment system. They wanted it to be all about the entertainment and the experience, and it was the Xbox experience rather than it being
PlayStation 3 had a Blu-ray
game console.
Yeah, like
I mean, that PlayStation 3 had a Blu-ray.
PlayStation was where you would go if you were like a hardcore tech junkie or a hardcore gamer, and you just had to have like the coolest shit, and like that made sense.
Yeah,
the Xbox is where you went if you were looking for more budget friendly. What's up?
I was gonna say, that's how I kind of felt with Nintendo, because with Nintendo, that's what you wanted when you had your friends over for Mario Party and whatnot.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
and legacy titles.
And I feel like,
legacy titles, yeah.
And I feel like they still have those identities to a degree today. Like Microsoft right now really feels like the family console, whereas Nintendo feels like the child or nostalgia console. Not a bad thing either which way. It's still for adults too, but like
what was it? Animal Crossing?
We're the ones buying 10 million plus copies of Tears of the Kingdom, not kids. Let's be
there's nothing wrong. These things. Judgment away.
I got like
just the way that it feels.
I got like 8 copies at work now.
The more
exactly.
All of those 10 million copies went to Raijin.
Yeah. 10 million copies of Tears of the Kingdom went to you.
Apparently.
I mean,
if there were Mega Man copies, nobody would.
Am I the only one here who beat Tears of the Kingdom? Ellen's group.
I didn't get it yet. I want to know.
You know what's funny? I haven't even played it. My girlfriend isn't even that much of a gamer, but she owns it, and I still haven't even played it.
The ironic thing is, they get
it's ironic.
I'll say the ironic thing for me is like a couple people were going to test. I fucking hated some of the changes in Breath of the Wild. Now it's like, if this gets more of that same bullshit, fuck this game. 120 hours later. All right, they fixed the shit.
It's a nice game. It's a nice game.
Pretty good. Pretty good. Okay. I guess.
I
mean,
it's serviceable. That she's not a gamer and she owns it. I mean, the fact that it's on the Switch.
Arizona.
No, the reason why I say that is because like she picks up her Switch probably maybe once every 3 days, 3 or 4 days.
You know what that means?
Like Mario, she'll play Mario Kart or maybe Tears of the Kingdom, and then she'll put it back down. But like, I mean, she's a mother and she works like 2 jobs.
I mean, my girlfriend plays her Switch a whole lot more.
She's not a gamer, so she's not broke like us.
She has a life. She has a life. That thing is literally just to occupy those small little moments of boredom.
Yeah.
Yo, if there's somebody who buys almost all the releases every month, you are broke. You have no money after that. If they release like 4 or 5 games that you're interested in one whole month, bye-bye any money you got.
That's how a battle pass reset at that same time too.
Mm-hmm.
Yo, last year was rough.
Last year might have been one of the worst, the best gaming years ever. Like it was the best because of all the games, and it was the worst because of all the money I had to spend.
Our problem.
Everybody else crying about the recession. Gamers are like, bro, we struggling.
And here I spent $240
spare change.
Free.
Having to pay what $100 for New Game Plus. Yeah, struggling,
bro.
Oh my god.
And people just let that shit slide. I was like, yo, what?
Nah.
Hashtag
bro, normal, bro.
I ain't
normal people are out here like milk.
We saw what you were doing. We wasn't supporting that. That's
normal
not a start button moment.
Bro, normal people out here talking about milk is $4.50, and I'm out here like, bro, this expansion pack hitting me.
But we're not supporting putting New Game Plus behind the paywall.
Mm-hmm.
That is
gross and egregious. And they and Sega should be ashamed of themselves for that bullshit. Like, look, I love Sega, but
So I think this might be a case of, and they might not be the first ones to do it, but this might be this might be a case of throw everything at the wall, see what sticks.
Yeah.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
So what do we all speculate? Because we're probably, if we're correct, then this announcement is probably going to happen before we come back next week or whatever Microsoft
be like on a Tuesday,
right? So what do we speculate that they're going to be saying their vision for the future of Xbox is? We got like 5 minutes left.
As I said, I think they might decide. They saw that people were disappointed with the PlayStation Portal, so they might be like, "Hey, listen, streaming tablet for Xbox." You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
Something.
I agree with that sentiment because I really feel like everybody is keyed into the whole portal type of train, and ever since and I'll be honest, ever since Nintendo came out with the Switch, well, no, I'll jump back. Ever since
even
PlayStation,
to the Wii U.
PlayStation, with the what was the PSP?
Yeah, PSP.
Ever since the PSP, right? People have had it seeded in their minds of gaming on the go.
AAA gaming on the go.
AAA gaming on the go.
Atari chat coming out. I don't even know. You know what? I don't even. I'm sorry.
So like everybody, like ever since everyone has had that seated back of their mind, gaming on the go, and let's be honest, everyone who has that nostalgia feeling, not everyone, most people are parents now, and what do you want your kids to do? Have something that keep their attention even when you out of the house.
Rajan, what
Microsoft making a portal works.
I think the realistic. I got two. I think the realistic announcement is exclusives moving to Sony platforms, whatever it be. Probably not going to happen, but what will be hilarious is if they're moving into a portable console, they're going to avail. It's like they make their own. Let's say they make their own high-powered Steam Deck equivalent designed for Game Pass, and then they call
That's what I was thinking.
And then they call it the Game Pass.
Wow.
The Xbox
Game
Pass. Bad idea. Games are going to be on PlayStation. It makes sense. They're a publisher. Why would you not want more games available? That's more money for you in the long run. And it also subsets what possible losses you might have from Game Pass and not having those direct purchases, but also having stuff on Steam too. It makes more sense to have Microsoft games on more storefronts. It just makes more sense. I'm assuming, are Microsoft games on Epic Game Store? Are they?
Wait, no.
I can see that happening too.
No, I think like Master Chief Collection is.
Okay, so I can see more Microsoft games on Epic Game Store as well too. Like I feel like Microsoft wants to get their games to as many places as they possibly can, to bank in the most money off of the IPs that they own.
My question for that would be: do you mean like their direct games, like the Halos, and as opposed
I think
to
the Halos,
the
Gears of War, Forza. I can see that happen.
Because I can see like them saying like, okay, like when the whole acquisition first started, they were like, yeah, we're not going to keep Call of Duty from PlayStation. I can see things like that. Like I said, Starfield. I mean, not Starfield. Elder Scrolls 6. I can see that coming out on PlayStation. I still feel like they're going to keep certain things close to home, like the Forzas, the Halos. I can still see them keeping those closer to home. Yeah, they can keep Redfall.
You can put that in the trash.
We over here at PlayStation.
That was not good.
We don't want that. No, I mean, we'll take Starfield.
I played 4 hours of Redfall. That was enough for me.
You know what I mean? We might see.
I have a question.
Starfield would be easy because there's already a PS5, PS4 version of Starfield that exists. So I could see that fully releasing on PlayStation 5.
Yeah,
that was already in the works. I
see stuff like Halo, things like that.
Staying close to the home on their own system.
Staying close to home, yeah.
Time.
Okay.
What do you think their vision is?
Same thing I've been saying for a while now. I think that Microsoft is focused on trying to get as many people playing their stuff as possible. I don't know what that looks like. I think Game Pass is a big component of that.
Sorry.
I genuinely just don't think they're concerned about selling consoles at this point. I could see it being some kind of mobile announcement, but I feel like it's ultimately... I have a hard time believing it's going to be anything big, I guess. It's just like... Yeah. I have a hard time believing it's going to be anything more than just a general...
Hey, don't worry, we're still going to be coming to you guys with Xboxes in the near future. But
I think the biggest thing you're going to... Sorry for cutting you off, Goji. What were you saying?
Oh, no. I was... Go ahead.
He was chiming in on your point, like, hey, we're coming with Xboxes, but hey, you can get your games here.
Yeah, I could see the biggest announcement being that the third-party companies they've acquired, like a Bethesda or an Activision or a Blizzard, I could see them making a more bold statement around trying to get those games on PlayStation. Like, I could see an announcement around a Starfield coming to PlayStation. I could see an announcement around those kinds of things, because I never personally felt like, like I talked to Rajan about this at length when all the stuff was going down. Like, I never felt like any of these things made sense to stay on Xbox. There's a lot of people out there who said you don't spend, this kind of money for exclusive and not be exclusive. And I see it the opposite way. Like, you spend this much money, if you don't believe you're ever going to make that much money on console sales exclusively, right? Then
put it everywhere.
It almost feels like you need to put it everywhere.
Right.
Yeah.
You spend $68.7 billion. You're gonna want to make that money back somehow.
Maybe you do it as a timed exclusive on your consoles for a year, 18 months, like to try and drive a little extra console sale. But it doesn't make sense to keep it as a locked thing for too long, especially when award season comes around.
You want as many people playing that as possible around that time. And honestly, I do agree with you with that time, because keeping something locked on a system for a prolonged period of time, that hurts you in the long run. That makes you seem like you're being, as a company, very short-sighted and not very kind of selfish. Like, it makes you seem like you're not really thinking about the people who would be playing this game or could be experiencing this game, because you're like, oh, we only care if you're playing it on our console. But if you were to spread it out, that's more people playing it. That's more people enjoying it. That's more revenue that's getting back to you.
And the only company that can really, truly get away with that is like Nintendo. But the reason why Nintendo can is because Nintendo has the most powerful IPs in gaming history. Period.
So here's what I think.
But even that's starting to wane a little bit,
It is.
Yeah.
It is.
Starting to wear thin. It's only but so many platformers you can come up with Mario.
Actually, sorry. What were you saying, Goju? Can you repeat that? I cut you off.
I was saying it's only but so many
Mario.
I don't know. Mario Wonder sold like hotcakes.
Real quick, you know what? I'm fibbing. I don't think it is weakening because I remember I was just listening to a report. So Disney's going through some shit, to put it lightly.
Disney's always going through shit.
Yeah, well, Warner Brothers. So Universal is in the middle of redoing, like Universal Studios, and I guess there's been surveys out there that shows that Universal, in having Mario under their belt, has stronger IP currently than Disney in terms of like people. There are more children who know about Mario than the Mickey Mouse at this point. Right now.
Yeah. Well. Yeah.
Oh wow.
Mario is more relevant than Mickey Mouse. That's a fact.
Yeah,
He's been more relevant than Mickey
Mouse. Yeah, so Nintendo probably actually does have pretty strong IP. Never mind.
Yeah.
So here's what I think that Xbox is going to be announcing next week. Next week, they are going. They made a big deal about these. They made a big deal about these rumors, and next week they're going to do a game showcase and leave it at that.
If you want to be boring, I guess.
Yeah.
They are going to talk about whatever new is coming for Xbox this year. Game showcase. That's it.
You know what?
That's the most plausible
That's
thing.
literally what's going to happen, but that's the boring option.
It's most
logical. We need controversy. We need to come out and be like, we're not dropping no more consoles.
That shit, yeah. That's not sexy.
You got a cell phone, right?
That's not sexy.
Conversations.
Or we're going to get announcements like Series S and X Plus.
First of all, whoa. All right. Let me chime in for a minute. Let me chime in for a second. I ain't gonna stunt. All right, so y'all already know I work in a pawn shop. Guess what's the one console that keeps coming back into that shop and sits
Xboxes?
Yep, Series X's.
Yeah,
Series X's. Got X's 3 of them. Been sitting there for a month. X. We sell out of the S's more than the X.
Damn.
Well, it makes sense.
We even bundle games with them.
It's cheaper.
And say, take it.
There's a reason Best Buy isn't carrying physical.
There's no more
anymore.
PS5s. There's no more PS5s.
Of course not.
I mean, yeah, he has a point. That's a reason that Best Buy isn't carrying media anymore. People aren't buying the games for disc.
And also, they know something we don't.
Obviously, yeah.
With that being said, I think that we are going to end it here. We would love for you guys to come join us, continue the conversation. By all means, we want to hear what you have to say, what you think that Microsoft is going to be announcing next week, what you think about all of the things that we talked about, Granblue Fantasy Relink, Microsoft maybe going possibly multi-platform, Henry Cavill with Warhammer 40K as a series, Tencent making a version of Elden Ring that's going to be on your cell phone. Or even people who decided they want to give violent threats to, video game developers. By all means, we're always open to your comments. Make sure to give us a like, a subscribe. We want to thank you all for joining us again. Have a wonderful week. And we love you all. So remember, if there's anything that you ever want to achieve, sometimes all you got to do is just press the start button. Enjoy.
Later, y'all.
Peace.